Yeah, very good evening, everybody, and welcome to Towcester for our first race. Just minutes away, then, round about 10 minutes away from our first of the evening. And you can see all the weights and the greyhounds on the screen for race number one. A couple of changes on tonight's card. First of all, in race number 7, Jazz Jake has been withdrawn. Reserve goes Ribble Ghost for Mark Wallace in trap 6. That's the 7:54. Race number 7, a grade A5. Trap 6 is now a Ribble Ghost. Moving on to race number 9, it's a cracking D1 sprint to look forward to a little bit later on our card at 8:28. Trap 4, Brynolfa Jasmine is out, and the reserve is Kunoff Melody. Kunoff Melody runs for Jim Reynolds in race number 9, running from trap 4. Those are our two absentees. We are due off for our first here this evening at Towcester in exactly 10 minutes' time, with an opening show for the bookmakers coming up very shortly for race number 1. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Towcester for our first race of the evening. We kick off with an A9 of 8. Here are the runners. In trap 1 is Head It On Sandy for Mrs. Wendy Richards. Emma Richards, 24.3. Trap 2 is Unlikely Zach for Mr. R. Liddington. Rob Liddington, 28.7. 3 is Make Offer for Mr. J. Barney. Hazel Kemp, 26 dead. In trap 4, we have Kerry Road Fifi for Mr. P. Cobb. Jim Reynolds, 24.2. Trap 5 is Mill Stinger for this time next year. Jean Lars, 30.6. And in 6 is Pure Prudence for Mr. Jim Reynolds. Jim Reynolds trains, 26.7. Those are our 6 runners for race number 1. The grade is A9. We're due off in 4 minutes' time. Let's quickly go down the card with the betting then, shall we, for our first of the evening here. Head It On Sandy, priced up at 5-1. Unlikely Zach for Rob Liddington was 3-1, now 4-1. Market leader in trap 3 is Make Offer for Hazel Kemp, available at Bolt, 2-1. Trap 4, Kerry Road Fifi, available at 3s. 5 Mill Stringer, 5-1. And 6 Pure Prudence, put in its shoulders, 9-2. Market leader, trap 3, Make Offer for our first of the evening for Hazel Kemp, the 2-1 market leader. Runners on the approach for race number 1. Just 2 minutes to the off. 2 minutes to the off for race number 1, where Make Offer in trap 3, Hazel Kemp's runners, the market leader. Off the back of 3 half-decent performances in a higher grade, I should say, of A8 recently. And this July 2015, daughter of Ballymat-esque, should go well here. She's the 2-1 market leader in 3 Make Offer. Bookmakers taking no chance with her in this race for our first of the evening here at Towcester. And deserve his favourite as well. Best recorded time recently of 29.28 off trials back in the latter part of December. Runners on the approach for race number 1. So the Greyhounds at the starting traps for our first of the evening. Trap 1, 6-1. Trap 2, 4-1. Trap 3 now 7-4. The 2-1's been taken about the market leader. 7-2, trap 4, 5-1, 5, and 9-2 about trap 6. 7-4 favoured in 3 with less than a minute for race number 1 here at Towcester tonight. Okay, everybody, so we're getting loaded for race number 1 on our card tonight. Trap 3 has been made the 7-4 market leader for our first of the evening. We're going forward for race number 1. The grade is A9. So for the first time tonight, Gemma will check them over for our first of the evening. Here we go. So a little bit of interest here in Trap 3, Make Off for the market leader for our opener here at Towcester this evening for Hazel Kemp. This little bit's been running well without getting a nose in front. Chance to win tonight though. 7-4 market leader, away we go. One showed good early with 3, 6, 5, 4 and 2, but into the first bend it's 5 who leads up with 6. 1, 2, 3 and 4, and the favourite struggling off the second they go, and it's 1 who leads here with 5. Then comes 6, 2, 3 and 4. They go down that far side, and the Red Jacket's got a slender advantage here on 6, 5 and 2. Then comes 3 and 4 at the back, but they come off the final bend. 1 trying to hang tough here with 2, 5. 3 looks for room, but gets the door shut in its face. They come off the final bend. It's 1 grinding it out here with 2 challenging on the outside. 2 to get there. 2's won it. Tight for the minors. 5, 4, 1. Trap 2 and Likely Zach wins for Rob Liddington. So well done to Rob Liddington. A good start for him tonight. Trap 2 Unlikely Zach then going on to win well in a decent time as well. 29.47, 29.47. And the result confirmed, everybody. Trap 2 Unlikely Zach, the winner for Rob Liddington. In second, 4, Kerry Road Fifi, a running absolute cracker. And 5 back in third, Mill Stinger. That's the 1, 2, 3. 2, 4, 5 in race number 1. 2 getting there close home. 4 running an absolute stormer, getting up for second. 5 back in third place. It's a 2, 4, 5 result confirmed for race number 1. And the SP4 first race at Towcester was Trap 2 the winner, Likely Zach 4 to 1 second. Trap 4 Kerry Road Fifi 4 to 1. 5 was back in third. Trap 3 Unplaced Make Off went off our 7 to 4 favourites. Race number 2, not too far away. That's due off at 6:28. And the full order of finish. Race number 1 was 2:45.136. Distances were 3/4. A short head again, 3/4 or 1.5. Winning time was 2:9.47, 29.47. go then for race number 2 on our card tonight. The grade is A8. Here are the runners. In trap 1 we have Ballylark Joe for Mrs D Williams, Hazel Kemp 34.2. Trap 2 is Ballylark Rian, again for Mrs D Williams, again for Hazel Kemp 26.4. 3 Towstar Tommy for the Towstar Syndicate, Mark Wallace 30.5. 4 Plain Miner for Mr M Reynolds, Jim Reynolds 29.2. 5 is Caro Nipper for Mr R Alder, Reggie Alder 32.8. And 6 Crossfield Hall for the Milton Keynes Racing Club, Steve Rayner 31.2. Those are our 6 runners for race number 2, and the grade is A8. Once again, they all go. So due off in about 3.5 minutes time. What we can do next is check out the betting on the screen for you for race number 2. Runners are currently on the approach. Well, trap 1, Ballylark Joe is a 6-to-1 chance. Trap 2, this one's Litter Sister, Ballylark Rian, priced up at 3-to-1. Trap 3, Towstar Tommy is also 3-to-1. Trap 4, Plain Miner, 5-to-1. 5 is 3-to-1. And 6, Crossfield Howl, 7-to-2. So it's very open betting here with traps 2, 3 and 5, all co-favourites at 3-to-1 for our second of the evening. So you can see the Greyhounds on the approach end for our second of the evening here. A8 is the grades, and the market tells us plenty here. It's very open. Trap 3, Towstar Tommy, currently the 3-to-1 joint market leader here for Mark Wallace. I found this grade a little bit tough last time. He's got some early pace, and you have to utilise that big time if he's going to try and crack out and lead all the way. It wasn't too long ago. This little fellow there was running a D2 company, so he's got some early pace, Towstar Tommy, and he basically needs to get into that first bend and get his nose in front and try and crack on and lead all the way. A bit of cash here for Reg Alders, Trap 5, Caro Nipper coming for a little bit of support. He's at the other end of the spectrum, no early pace at all, but will be staying on well, and we saw Trap 4 staying on like a Trojan in our last race. Maybe suiting the back runners here this evening, but Trap 5, Caro Nipper, running well without getting his just rewards possibly of late. Trap 5, and it's 11-4 for Reg Alder. That's Caro Nipper. Smart to load up for race number 2, off in about 40 seconds time. So just waiting on the instruction to get them loaded. We are loading now. Jem has asked them to be loaded up then for race number 2, everybody. A little bit of late cash here for Trap 5, Caro Nipper. For Reggie Alder is our market leader, 11-4. We're going in. So flags wave for our second of the evening. Trap 5, Caro Nipper likely to come off the pace. Reggie Alder's run at 11-4 market leader. Here comes the bunny for race number 2. And we're away. 4 showed good early with 2, 3, 1, 6 and 5 usual as last into the first bend of 4. Goes into that first bend, a good lead on 3, 1, then 5, 6 and 2. They come off the second here and trap 4, Clean Minor, well clear of 3. Then comes 1, 6, 5 and 2 as they go around the penultimate bend. And can 4 keep up the gallop here? 3's got a nice split on the outside. 6 improving. You know that 5 will come home as they come off the last bend. It's all change up front maybe, but 4's trying to stick to his guns here with 6 and 3. 1 finishing well on the far side. Here comes 5. 6 getting up to win it close home. A little bit fortuitous, but 6 Crosshill Hal won it for Steve Rayner. And the result confirmed. 6 Crosshill Hal the winner. Second 1 Ballylock Joanne. In third 4 Clean Minor. 6-1-4 result confirmed. Winning time 2-9-1-6. 2-9-1-6. Well, trap 4 really cracked out, didn't it, for Jim Reynolds? Got some terrific early, this Greyhound, but just really struggling to get home at the moment over this 480 trip. He's on the bunny, and he's run well here, but just finds these last few yards testing here. There's eventual winner back and forth. 5, Karen Nipper, never really picked up. Had to run very wide off the final bend, given no kind of chance here. But they come off the final bend. 3 and 6 having a right crack at the 4. 1 was storming up as well. Ballylock Joe on the inner. As they went towards the line here, 6 just manages to get rid of 3's attentions and grabs it close home. Run a blinder. 1 second, 4 thirds. 6-1-4 confirmed well into the Milton Keynes Racing Club. So nice one for 6. Crossfield Howe wins well there at 4-1. Second was 1 Ballylock Joe. 6-1. Third trap 4. 6-1-4 trap 5 went off our market leader. That was Caro Nipper. Winners time again 2-9-1-6. And a full order for race number 2 was a win for 6 Crossfield Howe for the Milton Keynes Racing Club, Steve Rayner. 6-1-4-5-3-2. Distances 3/4, a short head, 3/4, 1 1/4, 4 1/4. Winning time 2-9-1-6, 29-16. Race number 3 due off at 6:46 is a D4 event. They all go. go for race number 3 on our card tonight. The grade is D4 for this one, over 260 metres. Let's meet the runners, shall we? Starting off with Chiltern Robin for Mrs. Wendy Richards, Emma Richards, 24.2. Trap 2 is Burlington Bertie for Mr. P. Clark and Rob Liddington. Rob Liddington trains, 29.1. 3 is Riada John from, again, Rob Liddington, 33.7. Trap 4 is Poppy Power for Mr. D. Hernandez, Emma Richards, 25.3. 5 is Karma Canic for the Old Bellgate Syndicate, Jim Reynolds, 34 dead. And in 6, Trap Style Yam for Mr. Crichton, Miss Jean Lyles. Jean Lyles trains, 29 dead. Those are our 6 runners for this sprint, race number 3. It's over 260. The grade is D4. So the Greyhounds will be approaching the boxes on the far side very shortly. Down the card then. Again, it looks pretty open, doesn't it? Trap 1, Chiltern Robin, 7-2. Burlington Bertie, also 7-2 for Rob Liddington. 3, Riada John, again for Rob, is 6-1. Trap 4, Poppy Power for Emma Richards, the 2-1 market leader. And Car Mechanic and Trap Star Yam are both 4-1 chances. Market leader in 4 at 2-1. And we've currently got 5 minutes to the off. 5 minutes to the off for race number 3. Four minutes to the off. 4 minutes to the off for race number 3 here at Towcester tonight. 4 minutes. Trap 4 still 2-1 market leader here for Emma Richards. Poppy Power off the back of a good win in the grade last time out, beating Trap 5 on that occasion. Car Mechanic into second place. You can see Gemma taking the Greyhounds to the far side then for this D4 sprint. 3 minutes to the off, 3 minutes. Now 2 minutes to the off. 2 minutes to the off for race number 3. Trap 1, Chiltern Robin now 4-1. And Trap 6, Trap Style Yam is a 5-1 chance. Still the market leader pretty steady in Trap 4 at 2-1. Greyhounds at the traps. At the traps for race number 3 this evening. Just 1 minute to the off, everybody. 1 minute to the off. Trap 4 steady at 2-1. 7-2 Trap 2. 4-1 Traps 1 and 5. 5-1 Trap 6-1 Trap 3. Riada John. So Poppy Power, who beat Car Mechanic last term out. Okay, everybody, Gemma's getting him loaded for race number 3. We're going in for this D4 sprint where Poppy Power is still the 2-1 market leader. Trying to get revenge right on her outside is trap 5 here, Car Mechanic. For Jim Reynolds, went down by just half a length just the other day. There we go, Gemma checks them over. Market leader, trap 4, Poppy Power, beat trap 5 last time out. Let's see how these two get on again. Here we go. Racing 3 smashed out with 1, 6, 2, 4 and 5 rather missed it. 1 getting a super run on the inside to lead up with 3. There's Carnage in behind. 4 got done and 5 getting a super run on the outside. So 1 and 5, but it's Car Mechanic trying to challenge 1. 1 trying to hold on from 5 and 1 pulling away from 5. Going to win well. 1 beat 5, 2 third. Chiltern Robin, 2 good. 1, 5 and 2. Yeah, well done to Wendy, Richards and Emma. Chiltern Robin back to winning ways. 1 in A10 company and wins in a sprint tonight. 5 second. Car Mechanics run well again here for Jim Reynolds. 2 back in third. 1-5-2. Result confirmed. Winning time 16.02. 16.02. Well, it's interesting this race, isn't it? Because basically 2, 4 and 5 got left. 5 come out the boxes last. He's roared to the corner on the outside here. Ran ever so well, but just couldn't get here to Chiltern Robin, who did have a 16.07 on its car when actually finishing second to Car Mechanic back in the early part of December. Got the revenge today. Runs well. 1 beat 5, 2 third. I'm afraid the favourite got no run round the first bend. Poppy Power finished last. So Chiltern Robin then finally back to winning ways over the sprint distance, winning at 5-1. Nice performance there from Emma Richards runner. 5 Car Mechanic continues to run well in second. 4-1, 2 back in third. The favourite Poppy Power finished in last place. Went off 2-1 market leader. Winning time 16.02. And the full order was 1, 5, 2, 6, 3, 4. Distances were a length, 3 lengths, 2 1/4, 2 1/4, and 3 1/2. The winning time 16:02. Race number 4 due off, everybody, at 7:04. The grade is A7. They all go due off in about 14 minutes' time. So, ladies and gentlemen, move over to race number 4, the 704A7 to grade, back to 480 metres and down the card. So, Trap 1, Billy's Choice, and Mr. Richard Yates. Richard Yates trains 29 dead. Trap 2 is Cockney Rebel for this time next year for Gene Lyles, 32.4. White Jacket of 3, Ballyhigh Joyce for Mr. M. Lloyd, Mark Wallace, 26.9. 4 is Milltown Wonder for Mr. C. Joyce, Chris Joyce, 27.7. 5 is Rory Breaker for Mr. P. Martin Jr., Steve Rayner, 32.6. And 6, Dundrum Beacon for Mr. P. Tap, Richard Yates, 32.6. Those are our 6 runners for race number 4, and we're due off in about 3 minutes' time. So Greyhound's on the approach for race number 4. We can check out the market, shall we, for our next competitive looking A7 event. Let's see how the market shapes up then for this A7 race. Well, down the card, you can see it's very open indeed. Billy's Choice, 7-2. Trap 2, Cockney Rebel, 5-1. Ballyhoy Joyce for Mark Wallace, 5-2 favourite. Milltown Wonder, Rory Breaker, both 5-1. And in 6, Dundrum Beacon, available at 3-1. Market leader in 3. It's a 5-2 chance. 2 minutes to the offer race at number 4. Trap 3, Ballyhigh Joyce, downgraded this evening from A6. Absolutely flew round here in 28.67 back on the 15th of December. That's recently had its name changed from Ballyhigh Honey. Young enough to improve as well. November 2015, daughter of Droopy Kane. And the Greyhound's on the approach for race at number 4. That's our market leader, Trap 3 at 5-2. The Greyhound has been downgraded here as Dundrum Beacon from A6 to A7. It's been putting in some half-decent performances, but it's been struggling a little bit. Was 7-4 favourite back in a couple of weeks ago in the grade of A6 of Richard Yates. So considering this Greyhound, who is 3.5 years old, has been favourite in better company, should go well here with an ideal slot on the outside. Currently 3-1. That's Dundrum Beacon in Trap 6. 1 minute to the off. 1 minute to the off for race number 4. Okay, everybody, Gemma's getting them loaded for race at number 4 on market leader at the moment, Ballyhoy Joyce, who's our favourite at 5-2 for race 4, A7 to grade. They're loading up. So flag waved then for race number 4. The market leader, Trap 3, Ballyhoy Joyce, ahead of 6, Dundrum Beacon. A7 a grade. Away we go. Well, 3 totally missed the break, and 1 shows good early with 5, 2, 4, and 6. They're going to go up in a heap here. Who's going to come out in front? Well, there's trouble, and 1 got a dream run. 2's on the deck, so the red jacket of Billy's Choice leads up. 3 fortunate. Ballyhigh Joyce got a cracking run into second. 5 back in third. The rest are all toiling. 2's up on its feet and okay, but they go around the third bend, and it's 3 after that awful start. Now hit the front from 1. 5 back in third, but it's Ballyhigh Joyce got lucky at the first bend, who's pulling away here for Mark Wallace. 1's trying to rally close home, but 3 holding on for 1. 5 back in third. 3-1-5. Your result for race number 4. So well done to Mr. M. Lloyd and Mark Wallace. Ballyhoy Joyce goes in. Winning time 29.04. 29.04. Result 3-1-5. Well, if you're on the favourite here, 3, after this awful start for this little bitch in 3, she's totally missed the break here and got left. You can see it into the first bend, what was going to happen here. Two gets clipped on the back, moves off, ends up on the deck in the end. Trap 2, but was okay. And 3 got a dream run into second, and off this final bend they can manage to take it up from 1, Billy's Choice. 3 just coming back to the 1 dog though, as they went towards the line as 1 tried to rally. 5 back in third. But nice performance for the market leader. Win as well there for Mr. Lloyd and Mark Wallace. And race number 4, 315. So a good win for the market leader. Ballyhoe Joyce wins well at 5-2 favourite. Second one, Billy's Choice, 7-2. And third, Trap 5, Rory Breaker, 315, and race number 4. Our fifth race of the evening, everybody, due off at 7:21 in about 12 minutes' time. They all go. And the full order for race number 4 was 315, 462. Distances were a neck, 4.5, 1.5, 1.25, and a distance. The winning time 29.04. So here we go with that race number 5, an A6 event. Let's meet the runners, shall we? Starting off with Trap 1, Magnetic Field, for this time next year for Gene Lars, 31.6. Trap 2 is Bodell Risk for Mr. G. Cowan, and Hazel Kemp trains 26.2. Trap 3, All About Well for Mr. M. Gregory, Steve Rayner, 32.1. Trap 4, Ordinary World. The money is on the Bunny Syndicate. Matt Dartnell, 32.8. 5, Express Tatler for Mr. Richard Yates. Richard Yates trains 34.2. And 6 is Copeland Rory for Mr. S. Thompson. Kev Hutton, 36.7. Those were all 6 runners for race number 5. Grade is A6. So due for about 3.5 minutes time. Let's check the betting, shall we? Down the card, Magnetic Field and Bodell Rispo 5-1. All About Well 4s. 4 Ordinary World is the 9-4 market leader. Just Trap 5 Express Tatler 7-1. And a little bit of interest here for Kev Hutton's Copeland Rory on the one outside. Was 3s, now 5-2. Market leader Trap 4 at 9-4 with 3 minutes to the off for race number 5. So a little bit of interest here for Trap 6 at the moment. Copeland Rory 5-2. The market leader, though, as you can see, is Trap 4 Ordinary World at the moment, after putting up some decent performances of late. Probably sick to the sight of Agabur and Bray recently in trials and in competitive company for Matt Dartnell, but holds its form pretty well. She's been a little bit unlucky as well. She came into season way back in June, and she's not had a lot of luck either with injury, so she's likely to improve here. Trap 4 Ordinary World has only had 7 starts. She's yet to get her nose in front, but it's our 9-4 market leaders. The runners approach for race number 5 with round about just under 2 minutes to go. So 9-4 Trap 4, 5-2 Trap 6 here, Copeland Rory. It's been running well for Kev Hutton. In really good form. It's won 13 of his 79 starts. This veteran, nearly 4 years old come June, but holds its form very well indeed. Decent strike rate as well. 1 in 6 can't be sniffed at. Always holds its form well. 5-2 in Trap 6. We're just about to load up everybody for race number 5. Okay, everybody, we're loading for race number 5. Going in then. Market quite tight at the moment. Trap 4, 9-4, 6, 5-2 are your market leaders here. For race 5, it's the grade is for A6. Gentlemen, checking them over. Okay, we're going for race number 5, Trap 4. It's been a little bit blighted by injury of late. Trap 4 Ordinary World. Can she win her first race here? And away we go. Didn't break too well. 3 leads early with 1. 4 trying to get into it. Then 2, 5 and 6. But into the first bend. And 3's gone around with 1 and 4. 2, 5 and 6. They come off the second. All About World's got the lead. But 4's got a nice split into second if good enough. Then 2, 1, 5 and 6. Down into the third bend here. And 3 trying to shut the door on the 4. 2 and 1 causing problems for the favourite. And as 3 has kicked on here. 1 now Magnetic Field. And that one stays all day. He's moved into second. But they come off the final bend. 3 grinding out. Here comes 1 on the far side. inside. 3 from 1, 3 from 1. 2 back in third. All About Will has beaten Magnetic Field, and 2 Bodell Risked. So nice win for 3. All About Wells cracked out the boxes here for Steve Rayner and led all the way. Let's have a look at this again. Well done to Mr. Grigori. His Greyhound's run a cracker tonight. Smashed the boxes. And that's one very nice indeed. 1 Magnetic Field. Look for a second. Might get up. Wasn't quite to be. 2 back in third. 3-1-2. Winning time was a smart 28.96. 28.96. So this like Brindle's done it well, hasn't it, here this evening? All About Will. 1 got a super run on the inside there. 4 got crowded out of it, but they come off the final bend. And just for a split second here, looked as though that Magnetic Field for Gene Lars might get up, but it wasn't to be. 3 was Gutsy, holding on. 3-1-2. It's a real brave performance there for 3. All About Will there for Mr. Grigori and Steve Rayner. Full order with 3-1-2, 5-6-4. Distances for a neck, 3/4, 1 3/4 ahead and a length. Winning time 28.96, 28.96. Race number 6 is a D3 sprint back over the 260 trip. It's due off at 7:37 in about 10 minutes' time. Well, here we go for race number 6 on our card this evening to 7:37. Again, it's over 260 metres, a D3 sprint. Here are the runners. Trap 1 is Mulberry Hawk for What the Dickens and Jim Reynolds, 32.4. Blue Jacket at Trap 2, Bowls Bolt for Miss L. Parry, Paul Philpott, 34.8. 3 is Wilfred for Mr. K. Richardson, Steve Rayner, 27.2. 4 is Offshore Chief for Mr. L. Tier, Chris Joyce, 32.6. 5, Delightful Mary for This Time Next Year, Jean Lars, 30.6. And in 6, Ellie the Elegant for Mr. M. Elks, Jim Reynolds, 28.5. Those are our 6 runners. It's a D3 sprint, everybody, over 260 on the far side. So 3.5 minutes to the off, 3.5 minutes to the off. Down the card, Jim Reynolds, Mulberry Hawks, 7-2. Paul Philpott's Balls Bolts, now 9-2. Wilfred is a 5-1 chance for Steve Rayner. Chris Joyce has got the market leader here, Offshore Chief, 2-1. 6 is Delightful Mary for Jean Lars, 6-1. And Ellie the Elegant is then available, 7-2 for Jim Reynolds on the wide outside. As you can see there, Gem is just about to take the grounds over to the far side for this D3 sprint. Market leader Trap 4 Offshore Chief for Chris Joyce. It's been running well. Back-to-back seconds when 5-4 favourite. Last time out in 15.85. It's going to wee bit quicker as well in trials. This little fellow just turned 2 back in November. Continues to hold its form pretty well. Sure to go close here. Offshore Chief is our market leader at 2-1 on the approach. So Graham's making their way to the far side there for race number 6, everybody. Trap 4, the 2-1 market leader. A second then we got Jim Reynolds 2, in 1 Mulberry Hawk, and in 6 Ellie the Elegant. Mulberry Hawk again has been running well for his handler, but without actually getting his nose in front. Nicely drawn there in red. And Ellie the Elegant's been in really, really good form for Jim Reynolds as well, albeit over 260 and 480 metres. But there's some really good performances. And that old adage, when bitches are running well, back them until they get beat. Well, she's currently a 7-2 chance in Trap 6. Looking for that 4-timer if you take into equation that performance back on the latter part in December. So this little Greyhound on a 4-timer here for Jim Reynolds. Ellie the Elegant in 6, 7-2. So just about to load up, everybody, for race number 6 here. Market leader Trap 4 at 9-4. Easy to back at the moment, Offshore Chief. Can 6 make it 4 on the trot? 7-2 for Jim Reynolds. Loading up, everybody. Gem is loading up for race at number 6. Going in. So here we go then, Trap 4 Offshore Chief, rather unsteady favourite at 9-4 here for Chris Joyce. Here comes the bunny, and away we go. A 5 banged out with 1, 2, 3, 6 and 4 got left into the first band of 5s on the bunny. Delightful Mary leads up with 1, then 2, 6, 3 and 4, and it's a match now. All of 1 climbed on the back of 5. Oh dear, 2's been left in front as 1 climbed over back of 5. Boyle's Bolts bolted up, 4 seconds, 6 third. Carnage. At that second bend, Bowles Bolt the winner. Result confirmed, Bowles Bolt the winner, 4-second Offshore Chief, 6-3, 2-4-6, but that doesn't really tell us the story of the race whatsoever, does it? 15.76, the winning time. Let's have a look at this again, Joe. It's all about 1 and 5, isn't it? Delightful Mary and Mulberry Hawk. Both showed terrific early to the corner here. 4 walked out the box as our favourite, but 5's into the bend. Now watch the 4 in 1, needs room. Just climbs to the back of 5. They're just natural moved off there. 5 then come across 1, puts 1 on the deck. And 2 absolutely left clear. 4 seconds, 6 there. The good news is the 2 of them were okay. 5 or 1, but carnage at that first bend. 2 wins, 4 second, 6 back in third. And he could argue that Bowles Bolt deserves some luck after having none over the last few weeks, but glad to say that 1 and 5 are both okay. So trap 2 then wins 9-2, has some luck today. 4 was second, 9-4 favourite, 6-3, 2-4-6. Didn't really tell us much about the race though, did it? After 1 and 5 colliding off the second bend, but both greyhounds, I'm glad to report, look to be okay. 2, 4, 6, 3, 5 and 1 the full order. Distances 4 and 3/4, 3/4, 5 and a half, 2 1/4 and a distance. Winning time 15.76, 15.76. Race number 7 then, coming up very shortly. Just a quick reminder, everybody. Jazz Lake found to be lame. Reserve is Ribble Ghost. Ribble Ghost goes for Mark Wallace in trap 6 after Jazz Lake Jake has been withdrawn after being lame. So that's Ribble Ghost in trap 6 in race number 7. And that's due off in about 12 minutes' time. Just a quick reminder, everybody, as well, we do race here at Towcester on a Friday, Saturday night, and on the Saturday morning as well. Friday nights get underway just after 7 o'clock, and on the Saturday evening, we've got the full restaurant open as well throughout the weekend. You've got Friday, Saturday, and Sunday night racing, and that's every week here at Towcester Greyhound Racing. So Friday just after 7, Saturday just after around about 7:30. You can see fabulous Fridays on the screen as well. The weekend starts here. Free entry as well as usual here at Towcester Racecourse. That gets underway at around about 7:05 on a Friday. So all the action then on Friday, Saturday, and on Saturday mornings, and at Sundays as well to look forward to. A couple of big competitions as well coming your way in the next 2 to 3 weeks. More details on that in a couple of minutes' time. we go, everybody, for our next race. Race number 7, just around the corner. A5 is the grey. Let's meet the Greyhound, shall we? Starting off with Trap 1, Claret Cobbler for Northampton Town FC. Paul Philpott, 29.7. Trap 2 is Take Cash for Ash for Mr. Steve Rayner, 32.6. Trap 3 is Kilner Glory Peg for Mr. I. Barrett, Mr. A. Signey, Matt Dartnell, 31.2. 4, Get Call My Reg, getcallmyreg.co.uk, Paul Philpott, 30.9. 5 is Glencoyne Ivy for Mr. G. Anderson, Kev Hutton, 27 dead. And then reserve in 6 is Ribble Ghost for Mark Wallace, 31.9. Those are our runners then for race number 7. On the approach, the grade is A5. We're due off in about 3 minutes' time. Check the market, shall we, for race number 7. Then down the card, Claret Cobbler 7-1. Trap 2, Take Cash for Ash 3s. Kilner Glory Peg is the market leader, but only just at 2-1. 4, Get Call My Reg 3s. 5, Glencoyne Ivy 9-4. Our Ribble Ghost is the outsider here. The reserve at 16-1. Trap 3, Kilner Glory Peg for Matt Dartnell, the market leader, at Bottle 2-1. Two minutes the off for race number 7 here, the grade A5. Market leader for Matt Dartnell. Been in good form as well, Kilner Glory Peg. We won 2 races in the early part of January and late December. Lightly raced though in the last month. Only had 2 spins really. I wonder if this 2.5-year-old can improve again. She's been in season and she continues to run well here at the moment, Kilner Glory Peg. She's round about 18 weeks out of season. She's running well. And it's our market leader at 2-1. That's a picture there of Lord Hesketh's Ribble Ghost for Mark Wallace. Nice to see Lord Hesketh's contribution to greyhound racing being well recognised as well at the Greyhound Awards in London this evening. I'll see plenty about that in the Racing Post, I'm sure, tomorrow. He's got Ribble Ghost here for Mark Wallace, outsider, 16-1. Market leader, we just mentioned, Trap 3. You can see he's really in good form out of season this bitch. Trap 5, Glencoyne Ivy's another one. Kev Hutton's runner. Well, she's been running well without actually getting a nose in front of late Trap 5. Just come back off a couple of trials. Ran well last time out. Got rid of a few cobwebs. 28.71 gives her a big chance in Trap 5. She's seconded at 5-2. Okay, everybody, Gemma's getting them loaded, being loaded for race number 7. It's the tight market here. Trap 3, just 2-1. Trap 5, 5-2. So Gemma checks them over for race number 7. Market's dominated here by 3 greyhounds, technically. Traps 3, 5 and 2. Here comes the bunny for our next. The grade is A5. Away we go. One stepped out smartly on the inside with 3 showing pace. Then comes 6, 4, 5 and 2 into the first bend. It's Kilner Glory Peg who's got the lead on 4. 6 is wide the reserve. Then 1, 2 and 5. But Peg's out leading at the moment. Now Get Call My Reg moves into second. A big gap back to the third, headed by 5, 6. 2 and 1 is struggling big time. Run the third bend and 3. Staying on nicely, but 4's got every chance of good enough. And 5 back in third, starting to finish well. But it's 3 grinding it out for another win. Out in front and not for catching. 3 will win it from 5 who finished well. 4 third. 3, 5, 4. Yeah, this seasonal bitch, she's running out of her skin, isn't she, at the moment for Matt Dartnell? She wins again at 3, 5 and 4 confirmed. The winning time, 2860. 2860. Well, one showed the initial early, didn't it, here, Claret Cobbler, but 3 really flew to the corner. And, well, she continues to run well. She's 18 weeks out of season. She's really finding her form at the moment, coming up from A7 now to win in A5 tonight. And she's won well. Big run from 5 here. Glencoyne Ivy just got lost around the first couple of bends here. And she stayed on like a Trojan. But again, she's finished second here this evening at Towcester. But Kev Harton run well and fall back in third. Get Cornwall Reg in third place. But this little bitch really is flying at the moment and wins again. 3-5-4 in race number 7. It's a really smart performance. The ground in good form at the moment. Kunagori Peg, too good for them. 3, 5, 4, 6, 2, 1. Distance is 1 1/4. A short head, 5 1/4. Half a length, 2 3/4. Winning time 28.60. Our next race, at race number 8, not too far away. That's due off at 8:11, and the grade is A3. Just a quick reminder again, everybody, that racing on a Friday starts at 7:04 here on a Friday at Towcester. On Saturday mornings, we get underway at 10:16. On Saturday evenings, we start at 7:37. On a Sunday evening, we're underway at 6:11. Some cracking packages as well for the restaurant and some terrific deals. So do check out your programme ahead of our next meeting. Will be next Friday at 7:04. A couple of dates for you as well, albeit in March, but two cracking competitions to look forward to. The Astute Electrics Towcester Gold Cup. Now, the final for this competition will be Saturday, the 17th of March. The supporting opens £10,000 to the winner. The following Saturday, we have the Trainers Championship. Make sure you're with us for that on the 24th. Always promises to be a fantastic night. So a couple of dates later on in March, the 17th for the Astute Electrics Towcester Gold Cup and the Trainers Championship on the 24th of March. Here we go with our 8th race on the card, everybody. A3, the grade, the Imperial Car Supermarket Big Cash giveaway. Let's meet the runners, shall we? In trap 1, Sundarian Dino for the Sundarian Syndicate. Mark Wallace, 35.2. Trap 2 is Forest Messi for Mr. G. Phillips, Mrs. K. Phillips, Kev Hutton, 26.9. Trap 3 is Brave Venture for Mr. P. Dawson, Mr. M. Lowe, Richard Yates, 33.7. 4 is Alf's Boy for Mr. A. Zaman, Reg Alder, 32.9. 5 is Honest Robber for loads of Taylors and Woodward, Mark Wallace, 32.6. And in 6 is Tangled Up in Blue for Mr. P. Sandbach, Mrs. Sandbach, Mark Wallace, 31.7. Those are our 6 runners for race number 8. The grade is A3. So we're due off in about 3 minutes' time. What we can do is check out the market here for race number 8. Let's have a look down the card, shall we? Sundarian Dino, 6-1 here for Mark Wallace. Kev Hutton's Forest Messi, 4-1. Brave Ventures, the market leader here for Richard Yates at 2s. 4 Alf's Boy, available at 5-2 for Reg Alder. And then Honest Robber and Tangled Up in Blue, both 5-1 on the wide outside. Well, Brave Venture for Richard Yates, who went open racing recently at Hove and got a little bit tangled up, to be fair, in awful trouble in a couple of spins here for Richard Yates. Back in graded fair and back to A3 as well. Last time it was in this grade was a little bit unlucky, but it was a facile winner back in the early part of December in 28.02. That sets the standard here for Trap 3, the 2-1 market leader. Two minutes to the off, 9 for the field. Here come the runners then out onto the track. We're approaching for race number 8 on our card tonight. The Sundarian Dino going forward, the son of Van's Escalade. Well, actually, last time out, got a best recorded effort in A2 company way back in November. Market leader just going through your picture there, Brave Venture. Here's trap 4, Alf's Boy. Possible leader here for Reg Alder. Reg has got this little fella running ever so well at the moment, but he needs to crack out and try and lead all the way. If you fancy the 4, it's 5-2. Going behind for race number 8. 1 minute to the off, everybody. 1 minute to the off. It's now 5-2 each of 2, 3 and 4. The joint market leaders at 5-2. Okay, everybody, race number 8 just about to get underway here. Gemma's asked the tree handlers to put their greyhounds into the starting trap, so we are loading for this A3 event where it's pretty tight at the head of the market. 3 and 4, both 5-2 joint market leaders. So Gemma waves the flag again. It's 5-2 then. Traps 3, Brave Venture, and 4, Alf's Boy. The early pace should come from the 4. Away we go. 4 is expected, is cracked out to lead up with 5-6. 3, 1 and 2 into the first bend, and can 4 hold on. Out in front, leading up with 5. We've got a nice split ahead of 6. 1, 2 and 3 and a bit of bother, but they come off the second here, and Alf's Boy's got a good lead here. Couple of lengths on Honest Robber. 6 back in third and 1. Then 2 and 3, but 4 bowling along in front. He did get picked up last week, but he's looking good at the moment. 5 is trying hard though in second. 1 back in third as they come off the final bend. It's 4 grinding it out here. Alf's Boy from 5, who's putting in a big challenge late doors, but it's going to be too late. 4 beat 5, or 1/3. 4-5-1. Wins again. What else, boy, Mr. Zaman and Reggie Alder. Reggie's got this little fella running really well at the moment. And he wins again. 28.57, 2.857, the winning time. You have to say it's a good performance for. He's only got one style of run. He's got to crack out and try and lead all the way, and this is exactly what he's done here tonight. I have to say, Honest Rob has run really, really well here for Mark Wallace. And he's put in a really, really smart performance. Deserves to win a race sooner than later, Trap 5. He's not beaten far in the end. One stayed on for third, Sadari and Dino. Honest as the day's long, this little Greyhound in Trap 1. Again for Mark Wallace. Never runs a bad race. But 4 just holding on from 5. His day in the sun will come soon. 1 back in third. But Al's Boy wins well. And Reggie Alder's got this little fella in cracking form. So another terrific performance in Trap 4. Alf's Boy, the full order was 4.51, 3.62. Distance is 2, 2.5, 1 3/4, short head, and 1 3/4. Winning time 28.57, 2.857. Race number 9, everybody. Well, Trap 4, Brunoffa Jasmine is a non-arrival. The reserve here is Kunoff Melody. Kunoff Melody running in Trap 4 for Jim Reynolds in race number 9. It's a D1 sprint, and it's due off in about 13 minutes' time. here we go with the top graded sprint this time. It's D1 the grade over 260 metres. Just a quick reminder, trap 4 is Kunoff Melody, the reserve in 4. Let's meet the runners, shall we? Starting off with trot 1, Run the Risk for Mr. G. Cowan. Miss Hazel Kemp trains 32.6. Trap 2 is Tis Sunday for Mr. M. Wakefield, Matt Dartnell 33.4. Trap 3 is Farlow Pongo for Richard Yates. Richard Yates trains 31.9. Trap 4 is our reserve, Kunoff Melody for the Billy B Syndicate, Jim Reynolds 33.1. 5 is Tread Lightly for Mr. S. Banks, Mrs. E. Banks, Mark Wallace 38.9. And 6 is Farron Basalt for Mr. J. Hannafin, Seamus Gorn 34.6. Those are our runners for race number 9. D1 is the grade. We're due off in about 4 minutes' time. I think if you look at the betting now, I think the bookmakers here at Towcester tonight really haven't got a clue who's going to win this. Hence the betting then. Down the card, Run the Risk 4-1. Trap 2 Tis Sunday 3-1. 3 Follow Pongo 4-1. Kunoff Melody the reserve in 4 for Jim Reynolds 4-1. 5 Tread Lightly and 6 Farron Basalt both 3-1. So they're the market leaders then. It's pretty open, isn't it, to say the least. 3-1 the field. Top grade of D1. So as you can see then, the Greyhounds are on the approach to race number 9. We're due off in about 2.5 minutes' time as you go over to the far side for this top grade of some of the top sprinters in action here at Towcester tonight. Well, trap 6, Farron Basalt here for Seamus Gorn is running well and is the youngest in the race by some way here. This little fella's not due until May and really holding its form very nicely indeed. It's a little bit unlucky at Henlow in open race action just the other day, but flew round in 15:40 the other day and will improve all the time. Got a nice makeup in trap 6, sure to go well, and the puppy is improving here for Seamus Gorn. That one's just gone 7-2. So at the moment we've got joint market leaders here. Tis Sunday from Matt Dartnell. Another one is running well for his handler. And with the sprinter's age doesn't really come into it. Holding his form very nicely indeed. This ground is 5 in a few weeks' time here. Tis Sunday, but running really well. Top of his game. And recently was as short as 5-4 favourite back in December on Boxing Day to win a race. That's trap 2. Tis Sunday at 3-1. So the runners have reached the boxes on the far side for race number 9. 1 minute to the off, everybody. 1 minute to the off. So just about to load up then for our next race. 30 seconds before we get underway here. Still 3-1 traps 2 and 5. Tread Lightly. Mark Wallace has been running well. Flew around in 15:41, winning in this grade back on the 13th of January a couple of weeks ago. Okay, everybody, we're loading. Gemma's getting them loaded for race number 9. Cracking little event it is as well. Very tight indeed. It's 3-1 the field. Market leaders 2 and 5. Well, Gemma having to hold on to her hat there. Here we go then for race number 9. The market leaders 2 and 5. 3-1 the field. D1 sprint coming up. Away we go. 5 banged out with 6, then 2, 4, 1, 3 got left into the first bend, and 5 leads up here. Tread Lightly, but 6, 4 showing nice pace on the inside of the reserve. Then 2, 3 and 1 struggling, but they come off the second bend. Tread Lightly trying to hold on here from 4. He's unlucky. 6 on the wide outside, putting it down. 5 wins from 6, 4 third. 5, 6, 4. Tread Lightly cracked out, led all the way for Mark Wallace. So one off your back, tread lightly. He's back to winning form with a bang here. Was a little bit unlucky in open race action at Romford recently, won a massive price, but he's coming here with an absolutely scorching performance tonight. 15:38, 15:38, the winning time. Yeah, really banging the boxes here. I think four's run really well here tonight. Cut off Melly. She's a little bit unlucky off the second bend. He has to check out 6. Farron Basalt on the wide outside's also run well. But a really nice performance. He 4 has to check out behind 5. But 5 holding on from 6-4 back in third. 5-6-4 confirmed. Winning time again 15:38. Yeah, smashing performance there from Tread Lightly. Back to winning form tonight for Mark Wallace and Mr. and Mrs. Banks. Full order was 5-6-4, 2-3-1. Distance is 3/4, a length, 3/4, head and 2. Winning time 15:38, 15:38. Race number 10, everybody. Draw for 8:45, around about 4 minutes time. We're over 6 bends this time. The grade is S4. Track 5, Tread Lightly wins. 3-1 joint favourite. Beat 6, Farron Basalt. 4-1 for the reserve. Kunoff Melody back in third place. 5-6 the unplaced joint favourite was Trap 2. Winning time 15:38. Well, you can see the Greyhounds are on parade for race number 10. It's our first trip over the 686-metre start tonight. S4 the Grey. Let's meet the runners, shall we? Trap 1, Look to the Moon for Mrs. E. Richards, Emma Richards, 26.7. Trap 2 is Land Down Under from Wendy Richards, Emma Richards again, 25.1. Trap 3 is Zero Forks for Kev Hutton. Kev Hutton trains, 24.8. 4 is 52 Steps for Mrs. H. Kemp, Hazel Kemp, 28.8. 5 Scruffs Penny, Mr. A. Welch, Kev Hutton, 26.5. And 6 is Lug Hill Teddy for Mr. B. Turvey, Jim Reynolds, 32.6. 6 runners for race 10. S4 is the grade on the approach. So down the card, Look to the Moon, 4-1. Land Down Under, 6-1. Zero Forks available at 3-1. On 5-1, 52 Steps, Scruffs Penny. And the market leader, Lug Hill Teddy, available at 7-4. So the warm favourite, the only dog in the race, got 5 bitches to take on this evening, Lug Hill Teddy. But he's a market leader at 7-4. 3 minutes to the off for race number 10. Well, look, Teddy's been running pretty well of late. He's got the all-important downgrade as well, and had some time off after taking a tumble in the middle of December. And was made 9-4 favourites. Not had any kind of run at all, but did run a lot better back on the 30th of January. We're going down by a short head behind Ask Katina, when having to come from a long, long way off the pace, Lug Hill Teddy on that occasion. Again, he's got 6. Much more suited, you'd argue, to this grade than over 480 metres. Lug Hill Teddy, can he win tonight? He's been, believe it or not, 14 times he's finished second in his 54 starts. Can Lug Hill Teddy go one better? He's 7-4. So 2 minutes to the off, 2 minutes to the off. Gemma's taking the runners to the far side here for the 6-bend event. So there's a little bit of cash you may notice as well coming in for trap 3 here. Zero Forks for Kev Hutton. Was pitched in his favourite in this grade last twice when finishing second. Has run well, but each time has got picked up. That's Zero Forks in trap 3. A little bit of money for it though, into 5-2. On the approach for race number 10 with 2 minutes to the off. Well, the money continues to come in for trap 3 here. Zero Forks now top of the head, 9-4 from 3-1. However, trap 6 Lug Hill Teddy at 7-4 has not been moved at all. It's 6-1, bar the 2 at the head of the market here. 3 and 6 on the approach for race number 10. One minute to the off for this S4 event. 7-4 the field. Okay, everybody, Gemma's getting them loaded for race number 10. S4 the grades and 2 Greyhounds dominating the market here. Trap 6, 7-4. Hasn't moved an inch in the market, but it's been really good cash here for trap 3. Zero Forks at 9-4 for Kev Hutton. 6-1, the other 4 in this race. Loading for race number 10. So once again, the hair's on its way then for this S4 event over 686. As money for 3. Trap 6 is steady at 7-4. Away we go. 4's absolutely banged out. 52 steps lead up with 1 on the inside, then 5, 3, 2 and 6 as usual is last. As they come off the second bend, it's 1. Look to the Moon, who's got the lead on 4. Then comes 5, 2, 3 and 6. So the back runners have got a lot of running to do at the moment, the market leaders. So 1 and 4 with a circuit to go. And a lot between them. 5's back in third. Then comes 3, 0 Forks the Gamble. Then Luck Hill Teddy trying to get into it. And 2 Land Down Under struggling big time. And down the far side they go. It's 1 and 4 with 5. Surely Teddy's got a chance to win for a change and not finish second. He's moving well as they go on the penultimate bend, but he needs room as they come off the final bend. It's 4 from 1. 6 is making a right hash of this. Then comes 3 as they come off the last bend. It's 1 with 4. 6 is coming home late. Here he comes. He's nailed it. 6 beat 1. 4 third. 1 under Teddy. Got there. Result confirmed. 6 Luck Hill Teddy the winner. Look to the Moon in second and 4 back in third place. 52 steps. He made it hard work, didn't he, for Mr. Tuvey and Jim Reynolds? But he's got there, Luck Hill Teddy. Well done to him because he made a lot of trouble off the final bend. Let's watch this again, shall we? Well, 52 steps. Absolutely banged out the boxes. And these two lead up here with Look to the Moon. You see Luck Hill Teddy. 3 the Gamble on 0 Forks. Well, I'm afraid if you back that one, I'm afraid she never really got in it with a circuit to go as they went down the far side. And 6 has always got a cracking run here on the wide outside, but he's got this penchant for finding trouble, and only if he stayed wide here, you see he dives into the penultimate bend here and he's got nowhere to go. 1 and 4 shut the door on him. He clips into behind 5, but then 6 he still manages to get up on the outside here. He's putting it down. Here comes Luck Hill Teddy. And he's nailed it right on the lines. 6-1-4, cracking race. Evidence of the camera then was 42.64 the winning time. 42.64 and it was 6-1-4. So a cracking performance out from Luck Hill Teddy. Left it late, gets up on the line. 6-1-4-3-5-2 the full order. Distance is short head, 3/4, 1, 1 and 3/4, 3/4. Winning time 42.64, 42.64. Back to 4 bends next time, everybody. A7 is the grade of a 480, and that race is due off in about 13 minutes' time. penultimate race of the evening. Race 11 is over 480 metres. The grade is A7. Let's meet the runners, shall we? Trap 1, Swift Kaylee for Mr. W. McCall, Mrs. J. McCall, Mott Wallace, 27.3. Trap 2 is Ale Mary for the Beer Academy, Bernie Warren, 27.3 also. 3 is JT Tomcat for this time next year, Jean Lars, 31.9. 4 is Twiggy Delight for Mr. M. Lowther, Steve Rayner, 24.9. 5, Droopy's Tempo for Mrs. J. Dimmock, Heather Dimmock, 27.7. And 6, Nobody's Here for Freddie and his dog syndicate, Matt Dartnell, 28.7. 6 runners for race 11, and the grade is A7. We're due off in about 3 minutes' time for our next. We can check out the betting on screen. That's pretty open again, isn't it? Swift Kaylee and Ale Mary both 7-2. JT Tomcat 3-1. Twiggy Delight, Droopy's Tempo, both 6s, and Nobody's Here, the market leader in Trap 6 for Mark Dartnell at 5-2. Good winner last time out for this Greyhound, young enough to improve at 2.5. He sets the standard, Nobody's Here, 5-2 market leader. So 2 minutes the off, 2 minutes the off, and see one or two of the handlers giving the Greyhounds a bit of a pat. It's pretty warm, cold and windy out there this evening, isn't it, for these handlers and the Greyhounds? They're doing an excellent job. Nobody's Here for Matt Dartnell as our market leader off the back of a good win last time out. Hasn't got a lot of early pace, but definitely got gears off the final 2 bends, this little bitch. And she's going well. She clocked 29.05 last time out, and she's our market leader at 5-2. Our 3-1 is JT Tomcat, a little bit like our last race, because we had a cracking one, didn't we, from Lughill on the outside there, Teddy. Well, he was the only dog in the race, and this time it's Trap 3, JT Tomcat taking on the bitches here. Jean Lyle's runner, a bit threatening to win a race. He's got some good early pace and needs to utilise that early into the first bend, Trap 3, JT Tomcat, but a really, really good chance here to lead 1 and 2 into the corner. So will it be a change of fortune here for Trap 3, JT Tomcat tonight? It's currently 3-1. Minute off for race 11. So last chance to get bets on, everybody. About 30 seconds before we get underway here for race 11. Market leader Trap 6, 5-2 on 3-1. Is Trap 3. 7-2, Trap 2 here, Ale Mary. Has been threatening a little bit like 6. Hasn't got a lot of early pace. Does stay well for Bernie Warren. 4-1, Trap 1. Swift Kaylee. Mark Wallace's runner well drawn on the inside. And 6-1, 4 and 5 here, Twiggy's Delight and Droopy's Tempo. So we're loading up for our penultimate race of the evening, everybody. The grade is A7 at the moment. Trap 6 is just the favourite at 5-2. Jim is just about to check him over. Okay, here we go then for race 11. Market leader Trap 6, Nobody's Here. One last time out, Trap 6. That's got a lot of early pace, though. And away we go. There we go. Walked out. 4 leads up with 1. There comes 5. 6 improving now to the corner. Then 2 and 3. Look at this. 6 has flown to the bend and leads up. So Nobody's Here is out in front, but running incredibly wide. Giving a chance to 1 Swift Kaylee on the inside. So 1 now leads up. A 6-1 in the car park. I go back to 4, 3, 5 and 2 as they go around the penultimate bend. And now 6 decides to dive on the inside. Had to check. So 1's got the lead here, Swift Kaylee, from 6 and second. Then we got 4 as they go towards the line here. And Swift Kaylee going on the white win here from 6. He didn't know where to go. 1 win, 6 second. 3 third, 163. So have a look at this again, shall we? Swift Cayley putting in a great performance when nobody's here. Hit the front of the first bend. I thought possibly most of us thought it was all over, but ran so wide off the second. That gave a chance to Swift Cayley, who stuck to the rails really well. Mind you, she did move off going into the third. You can see she comes back in again. The six is going to have to check out just there. It's a really nice performance here from Swift Cayley. Back to winning form. As it once, it's way back in October for Mark Wallace after a lengthy break, but wins nicely. 1 beat 6 and 3 was third. Yeah, so well on to connections to Swift Cayley then for Mr. and Mrs. McCall. Mark Wallace's Swift Cayley running a cracker tonight. A little bit's running really well. 163.425. Distances a length, 2 1/4, half, 2 1/4 and a neck. Winning time 29.06. Final race of the evening coming up at 9:19. Race number 12. The grade is A8. No changes for that one. And it's due off in about 14 minutes' time. So here we go then for our final race of the evening, everybody. A8, the grade race number 12. Is the runners. Trap 1 is Trakel Star for Mrs. Wendy Richards, Emma Richards, 25 dead. Trap 2 is Unlikely Paco for Mr. S. Rayner, Steve Rayner, 34.1. 3, Derail Ale for the Beer Academy, Bernie Warren, 30 dead. 4 is Bally Black Bolts for Mr. Richard Yates, he trains, 26.4. 5 is Second Time Lady for Mr. S. Roberts, Mrs. M. Roberts, Steve Roberts, 26.9. And 6 is Greencroft Tyson for Steve Rayner, 31.6. Those are our 6 runners for our finale, and the grade is A8. Currently 4 minutes to the off, 4 minutes to the off for our final race of the night. Once again, one of those races where the Greyhounds are, well, it's look at 3-1 the field for this one, so the bookmakers again struggling to put in a clear favourite. Trakel Star and Likely Paco both 3-1, 7-1 the outsider Derail Ale, 5-1 Bally Black Bolt, 7-2 Second Time Lady, and Greencroft Tyson also 3-1. Co-favourites 1, 2 and 6 are on the approach. Three minutes to the off, everybody. 3 minutes to the off. Are we going to get a clear favour? I think we just got a little bit of cash, didn't we, for Trakel Star there. For Emma Richards, who ran well last time out. Hasn't won since November. But been threatening to win for Emma for a little while now. Nicely drawn on the inside. There is the favourite, Trakel Star. Trap 2 in behind, Unlucky Paco. Good winner. Way cracking out, winning a P5 puppy event. Still in puppy status until March, Steve Rayner's youngster. Got some good early pace and looking to dictate from the front again. I'd like to see be close between 1 and 2 into the first corner. Steve Rayner doubly represented as well with Greencroft Tyson on the wide outside. Disappointed a wee bit last time out. Again, it's been threatening to win with 2 seconds and a couple of fourths and a third recently on its card. As the runners going behind. 2 minutes to the off. 2 minutes to the off for race number 12. More money for track 1 here. Trakel Star being well backed here. Good cash, 5-2 now from 3s for Emma Richards runner. One minute to the off, everybody. 1 minute to the off for race number 12. There is Trakel Star. Be interested to see who's going to lead out of these two, 1 and 2, both with some decent early pace into the corner. There is Unlikely Paco. He's still a baby. Not till March. 1, 2 and 1 second so far, so made a good start to his career. There's trap 4, Bally Black Bolt, who's been a little bit unlucky. And so you've got to go back to November. Last time, Emma Richard Yates' runner went on to win Bally Black Bolt, but if getting into that first bend would go close. Best recorded effort recently at 29.07. Okay, everybody, for the final time, Gemma's going to get them loaded for race number 12. Going in, favoured in 1, 5-2. So the final time, Gemma waves the flag. Market leader, trap 1 here. Trakel Star for Emma Richards into 5-2 favourite. Here we go. Racing, 5 showed good early with 2, then comes 1, 4, 6 and 3 into the first bend here. And a second time lady who's shown good early with Steve Roberts. 2's just got done, 1, 3, 4 and 6 is trouble and 5's escaped. Now 4's in pursuit here, Ballyback Bolt. I go back to 6, 3, 1 and 2, but 5's in isolation here. In good form, has won 2 of its last 3. 4 is trying hard though and getting there with every stride. Then we got 6, they come off the final bend. 5 trying to grind it out from 4 and holding on because 4's got nothing left. And 5, second time lady, wins well again, 4 second. And back in third was the 6. Second time lady does it again for Mr. and Mrs. Roberts. Well done to Steve. Nice performance on the youngest ground in the race. Continues to run well. It's now 3 wins from 4. Winning time 29.01, 29.01. Yeah, this little bit's running out of her skin at the moment, isn't she? She's really put in a nice performance, and she got away from him. Okay, helped by a little bit of trouble in behind. You can see there were 4's run a cracker here, Ballybutt Bolt. There was a lot of carnage in behind, but 5, nevertheless, really showed terrific early to lead down that far side with a big lead. 4 for a split second. Around the third was making up a wee bit of ground, but wasn't good enough because 5 has continued really well here for Steve Roberts. She's at the top of her game and won nicely. So 5 pulls away to win well from 4. Wasn't too far away. 6 was back in third place. So terrific performance then from second time lady, wins again for Steve Roberts. Full order was 5, 4, 6, 2, 3, 1. Distances 3.5, 6, 1.5 short head and a half. Winning time 29.01, 29.01. That wraps it up from us all here at Towcester tonight, everybody. Just a quick reminder, next Friday we're racing at 7:06. Underway just after 10 o'clock Saturday morning. It's a 7:30 start on Saturday night. And of course we're underway around about 6:15. This time next week on Sunday. 5 wins the last from everybody here at Towcester. Have a safe journey home and we'll see you soon. Bye for now.